I'm a straight man, but attracted to transsexual or gay porn. Why?
Well, very good question. There's a lot that we're currently learning about this area in terms of same-gender attraction or activities that relate to same-gender activities. I guess I would first say that there's still a lot that we're learning about that as studies are carried out and as we gain a greater understanding of the nature of same-gender attraction. Ultimately, the answer to why that would ever be appealing to anybody is essentially the same answer as why any kind of a sexual experience is appealing, which is that it comes from a natural instinctual part of the brain. It's built in. So many people are familiar with kind of two parts of the brain that we often talk about in the process of addiction recovery, the limbic system and the prefrontal cortex. And the limbic system has some survival components built right into that, one of which is sex itself. Now, some people would question, well, is sex really a survival requirement? You know, is it comparable to, say, air and water and food? And so I guess in terms of literally surviving right now as of this moment, no, it's not a requirement to be in a sexual experience to survive. But the human race is designed to be sexual in order to survive as a race. And so the idea of sexual drive being an important part of our limbic system and our limbic processes is very important for understanding that is why we have any kind of a sexual impulse. Now, obviously, there are plenty of sexual experiences that we experience that we want to experience. Some are unwanted and confusing. And I think that there are those who experience some of the same gender attraction that are confused by that. And they may wonder, well, why is that my experience? Especially if they say, well, I don't want to choose that kind of relationship or choose that kind of life experience. It's sort of like it chose me, so to speak. And so while there's a lot to learn in that area, I think there's also a lot to be able to explain the fact that we do have a lot of understanding about where sexual impulses come from and why they exist in human beings and how they impact our decision making. It's a very powerful drive. And knowing that whatever the sexual desire is, whatever the sexual attraction is, it comes from that part of our brain that we were designed to have, can certainly help us in trying to explain things as a matter of literally being an instinct and a survival type of approach in processing our experiences. Now, I think there's a lot of things that we can do to be able to work through the questions that come to those who are confused by a same-gender attraction. And that's something that we do work with people on, is trying to make sense of that, trying to find balance and find peace with the fact that one may experience a certain impulse or a certain trigger, and they can understand it for what it is and not be ashamed of that, but also be aware of the fact that decisions can happen in conjunction with those impulses, whether they're in favor of them and supporting them and helping to carry them out, or whether they're actually contrary to those impulses, a decision that would allow you to not carry out that impulse. So hopefully I'm making some sense on that. It's definitely a sensitive area where, because we're still learning a lot, we're still trying to be able to make more and more sense of why there are those individuals who do experience same-gender attraction and others who do not. But the bottom line is that limbic part of the brain is essential for understanding any sexual impulse. And if we do understand that, we can feel better about who we are, no matter what our attraction may be, and make sense of it in terms of being able to manage that behavior as human beings.